Welcome back, Kubey fans. This old sword with you. And here's a long-awaited knife that I received the other day from White Mountain Knives. Thank you, Justin. This one I've been waiting for quite a while. This is my third try in attempting to get one, and finally I scored. So what do we have here but the Kubey Atlas? Yes. And this blade feels even better in the hand than I thought it would. It checks all the boxes. It's both a beauty and a highly functional knife with a very smooth action. Let's back out just a little. Great flipper. Can also be flicked with the thumb. You got to give it a good jab in there with your thumb. But I must say that Kubey really knocked it out of the park with this one. With ergos, with the size, which I love, which is a large knife. The coloring, which I wasn't sure I'd like, but we've got this interesting kind of sky blue, almost a baby blue, anodized backstrap, clip, and pivot. Great jimping on the back of it. It is a cleaver style blade. You could call it a Warncliffe if you'd like. I'm calling it a cleaver style because of that abrupt drop and kind of a bull nose. High grind, quite sharp. The steel is S35VN. Handle is all titanium. Is the hardware steel? Yep, screws are steel and titanium. So pretty much all titanium except for the two screws you see there and the pivot. Interesting slot down the middle. And as I had found out when I first picked it up, we have no battery on my flashlight. But you can see it there under the studio lights. A nice slot, millwork on both sides, lightening it just a bit. And we're going to be checking it out on the scale and with a tape measure. How about right now? It is a large knife. It is almost 8 3/4. We're going to call it 8 3/4. And a blade that we're going to call 3.8. Cutting edge 3.5. Nice usable choil, so long as you keep your finger sideways and you don't try to turn it, because you'll catch yourself on that point. But it is a usable blade choil. And if I can find, I had to rearrange the studio a little bit. We got a new background going here, so things got tossed around. We're going to have a thick blade stock, I believe, of 4 millimeters. We're going to have a relatively wide handle of 0.55. I wouldn't really call it that wide. And let's see what Mr. Scale is up to here. Ready, set, go. 5.66 ounces. Not a lightweight, but it is a big knife, as mentioned. And it went out of Went out of frame there. Come on, Cecil. And I mean Cecil B. DeMille, not the not the YouTuber. He's a good guy. There's a nice Kubey logo there. See what we got on the blade. Small Kubey logo. Oh yes, and Jelly Jerry is the designer of this knife. Beautiful design. He's really doing a super job with all his designs for Tucson, for Kubey. The Raven is his as well for Kubey. There's your S35VN marker. And this is number 265, I believe. Is it numbered? Got a 265 down in there. By the way, the Kubeys at this price and even lower prices come in one of the best Cordura cases that I have seen. Very stiff, rigid, great material. It is a double case, so you've got space for a knife on each side. You get a little card in there, and I don't think the card says much other than some of their addresses. And you got a nice microfiber cleaning cloth. Smooth, as I've said, very smooth, and just a very likable knife. I don't know what else to say about it. It's got great thickness, ergos, comfortable. You can put your thumb over there or on the side. Although this isn't really what I'd use for a point down knife unless I'm doing push cuts, some sort of thing. In the past, I tended to stay away from knives that I basically say have no point. We won't say they're pointless, but no defined point that is on line with the axis of the knife. If you need to use a point for cutting, it's quite good, about good as any Wharncliffe would be. But they've done such a nice job all the way around with the finish on the handle, finish on the blade. It's a beautiful kind of a muted stonewash, not too dull, got a little bit of a shine to it. Nice fuller that joins the hole in the blade. Unable to middle finger flick it. It's I spoke too soon. I think it's breaking in. So with a little bit of effort, and that was almost pure luck, you can make a middle finger flick it. It's got a pretty good detent. That locks in there pretty good. You're not going to shake this guy out, although I may prove myself wrong there too. Not at this moment anyway. For me, it's more of a flipper, and with a little effort, you can thumb flick it. Let's do a quick compare here with this CJRB that I did a review on not that long ago. And they're pretty close to the same size and pretty close to the same sort of blade. They're both that cleaver style blade, as you can see. Similarly sized knife, we have the Hell X here from Concept. So the Hell X, I would say, is probably a little longer. Just a bit hard to tell because different type of blade or design. about a ½ inch longer maybe. So, highly recommended knife, particularly if you like this style of blade. This again is the Kubey Atlas. I think it really makes it as far as living up to its name, the Atlas. It's a large, strong knife. Can it hold up the world? I don't know. Maybe close. It is a beauty though. And glad I finally managed to get a hold of one. There, by the way, is your lanyard hole. Did I miss anything else? Hardened steel insert. And a great action. Hope you enjoyed this review. Looking for subscribers. Coming up closer to 2,000. Gonna have a nice giveaway. Never know what might be given away. So press that subscribe button at the end of this video. It is my logo. If you click on the logo, it will subscribe you. Be well. Until next time, this old sword signing out.